Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, all appropriate ages, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Hope you're staying safe and healthy. So, I did have a video already, but ended up deleting it because we had Hotfix 7 and some other bits and pieces to talk about. So, Hotfix 7, along with the prime unvaultings that have happened. Let's go over the Zariman changes and fixes. Added additional spawn points for void plumes, soma cord fragments, storage containers, and Zariman accolades throughout the tile set. Not something we wanted. Fixed a case where faction-based bounty challenges might not match the actual faction present in Zariman. This is the second time that they're doing something about that. So we'll see if it has actually been permanently fixed. Not whenever the faction changes, the bounties will be refreshed to prevent this from happening in the future. Let's hope. Fix an issue with bounties not properly updating after host migration if players had already completed one of their objectives. Fix kills from built turrets and Void Armageddon bounties with the kill ex-Grineer/Corpus challenge not counting. Fixed cleansed exilizers and voice cascade missions expiring immediately after host migration. Fixed extraction appearing early in void missions after host migrating during the kill Thrax attacker stage. Also fixed the second extraction marker that does not lead anywhere after migrating. Can you also fix the times that there is never an extraction marker, please? Fixed extraction not appearing after completing back-to-back void cascade bounties after host migration. Fixed active void manifestation being inactive and unable to be reactivated after host migration. Fixed a rare instance where both the Thrax unit and the enemies it channeled became invisible for an indefinite amount of time. That still happens with Void Angels though. Sometimes they are still remaining invisible the whole time. Fixed extra extraction markers directing you to dead ends in your Zariman tile set. Never experienced that one. Operator fixes change and focus changes and fixes. Fix switching to the last position you left Excalibur Umbra instead of your current position as operator before transferring back to Warframe. Enamite changes and fixes. Energy costs in the abilities screen will now reflect their new cost when affected by Enamite. Fix an issue where Enamite was being consumed without granting a free cast on numerous abilities. Fix some abilities with no cost or special cost consuming Enamite despite not benefiting from it. Fixed Enamites activating and allowing infiltrate. Fixed Enamite activating and allowing infinite casting for most Warframe abilities in the Grendel Locator missions. And then there's the UI changes that added on hover tooltip for credits and platinum in the notification bar. In-game market category icons will now increase in size on hover. In-game market now has new banner backers and has been increased in size. Updated the new icon effects. Changes. Grineer Sensor Regulator Eximus, brackets the drone from Grineer Sea Lab Spy mission, will only spawn as Energy Leech and Health Leech. They are unable to animate the other Eximus functions, which was making it difficult/impossible to telegraph their attacks. Also fix their abilities to actually function. Fixed Equinox's main being able to chain stagger Eximus units with Overguard active. Overguard, as it was designed, is resistant to CC. Any form of stagger proc present with Warframe abilities is unintended at this time. It's worth noting that we're exploring some options on the topic of Overguard and its CC resistance. Fix the Arrow mod set bonus put into sleep ability immune enemies. Fix Cascadia empowered triggering overwhelm and attrition. Fix the relic selection screen in Endless Void Fisher missions not showing relic source information. Fix more capture targets spawning periodically after the change of plans objective swap to exterminate happens in capture missions. I'll tell you what you could fix with capture missions, DE. The fact that they're not always just capture missions. If we wanted to do an exterminate, we would go and do an exterminate. If we want to do capture, we just want to do capture. Fix that. It's been years. Fix Nardus Prime, maintaining mutated appearance after exiting the game with any bow equipped. I didn't know that one. Fix some skins for exalted weapons descriptions in inventory stating that you do not own the weapon despite the fact that you do. Fix script error related to Limbo's Banish. Fix multiple script errors related to deactivating operator focus abilities. Fix script error related to Lich Sanguine Xmas zones. Fix script error when host migrating shortly after turning in a Zariman accolade at a Melika cache. Fix script error related to Chroma's Toxin Elemental Ward. Right. And then we had on the forums about the next big update, I should say, because it's almost been 2 weeks since the launch of Angels on the Zariman on all platforms. The team has deployed 6+ hotfixes. We just had the 7th yesterday, and digested handfuls of feedback threads. But what's next? Alright, I'll just skip over this and just go. We're needed to address crucial bugs, which they mostly fixed. Larger plans to commit to addressing bigger feedback areas in our next update. Angels Zariman 1.1, final name pending. Apologise for the frustration many of these bugs caused by the community. Much has been taken into account for future releases so that we can avoid the bumps we saw during the initial launch. How many times do you need to learn? Because every update has come out with monumental bugs. Railjack just being one of many examples, because that was broken as fuck. So please actually do learn this time. We will be entering console certification for 1.1, meaning all the issues or changes to initial launch that require code integration will go live with this update. This includes fixes for bugs such as the Void Plume 08 pickup indicator, Zariman Steel Path completion inbox not being sent, and more. I've not even tried Zariman Steel Path yet, so I'm glad I haven't in case it screwed me over that way. They are going to, with 1.1, address top feedback points that required more development time, careful consideration and code changes to implement. Experimenting with directional changes such as strafing with Void Sling and backward slings. At the time, felt had a similar directional control to bullet jump was important. Community feedback tells us that the more mobility options the better, and we are working on changes to meet that desire. And to resolve some transference latency issues. Other highly discussed topic being reviewed is Overguard. Look, I have no problems with the Xmas units as they were or as they are now. They've already been nerfed once because people found them too difficult. Just have the appropriate gear. I'm not even... I'd say I'm a semi-decent player at this game. And I don't really struggle with Xmas units. We're currently experimenting reviewing different options to address varying islands of feedback. We understand that doesn't provide you much to go off, but please know we're committed to making good on the feedback we've been given. Additionally, we're reviewing the possibility for new operator arcanes that have direct interactions with Overguard. We are planning on adding an additional arcane slot for amps. Ooh, hello. We also plan to release the remaining 2 Incarnate weapons that were shown on Deathstream 160, as well as some other goodies. 1.1 is our commitment to the community in addressing the feedback from the original Angels of Zariman launch. Our next Deathstream will speak further on these changes. Stay tuned. Well, we can only see what they bring. But as for the 2 weapons, we had the shotgun and the dagger. Now, one thing I will talk about is the cost of everything that we currently have available to farm in the Angels of Zariman, because you've got the 3 current Incarnate weapons: Gaia, Airlock, Autonox, the Hespar. Basically, I'm not going to include arcanes or a second guard for Helminth. I'm just going to add 1 Gaia and everything that requires tons of resources that were a pain in the ass to farm. And I still haven't got all the Airlock and Hespar components because RNG is still kicking me in the balls with ill intent. But given the 3 arcane weapons, the other 3 weapons and Gaia, and max standing or rank 5 with the holdfast, you require 2,120 Thrax Plasm, 83 Entrati Lanthor, 36 Void Plume Pinions, 150 Void Plume Quills, 5 Void Plume Downs, 10 Void Plume Veins, 10 Void Plume Crests, and 280 Void Gel Orb. And we've got 2 more Incarnate weapons coming, and the possibilities for more on the way, because if the dagger and the shotgun were already shown in Deadstream 160, you know they're well on their way. So we have possibilities for an Incarnate bow, an Incarnate crossbow like the Attica or the Zooge, an Incarnate, if they're doing a Incarnate dagger like they've done in Incarnate Tonfa, hammer, sword, axe, dual daggers or dual swords, an Incarnate revolver, or dual pistols. There are multiple different Incarnate weapons that could come out, given the positive feedback that they have been getting already with just 3. And they're going to require a hell of a lot more of these resources. So we have one of 2 options. We can either, if we've got everything that the Angels of Zariman currently offers, we could just take a break from it now. Or option 2, farm way more than we thought we needed to in preparation for what it's going to drop in the future. Because there will be more coming. I just feel like there's going to be way more Incarnate weapons a lot on the horizon. One thing I hope they address with the next feedback or the next update is dormer zones. Now I will talk about something and I will get into my operator for it.
No contamination. You really came through for us, kid.
I thought void shells were taken out because I
I
looked in this one by mistake in a recent video.
Hope I'm worth it.
But no, void shells are here.
Set you up with a whole new
Purchase one, forgetting that they're only for void shell suits, which only 3 Warframes currently have, but
Not
also
gonna
your
make any
operator
madam.
and your drifter.
You take care now.
So I added a couple to it, and it looks really nice. I like the texture looks. I like the void shell looks. So I hope that we get more void shell skins for all the other Warframes. And everything else there with void shells was just Captura scenes, not Vista Suite scenes. That Vista Suite, I am not spending 100,000 standing for a room extension. That is never happening. It is not worth it. This room needs to be one of the main focuses of 1.1, because if this is another social hub, it is the most irrelevant thing in that aspect. Like, this is a nice touch, Teshin swords, but irrelevant. Can't do anything with it. I'm not spending 100,000 on this because apparently the Vista Suite scenes in the background that you can change cost platinum. No shot am I spend 100,000 standing or any platinum on a room extension with no purpose. This dormer zone holds no purpose. If we look at dojos, alright, let's look at the Drifter Camp and the Orbiter first. We have
everything in orders, operator? Is that a pun?
for this.
I will attempt to bypass this fault.
We have the ability to change our arsenal, which we do here through the menu. We also have the ability to look at our mods on a workbench, but we have that here to do in the menu. But we also have a foundry in those two. You know what else we also have in there? A navigation console where we can select what nodes or what missions we want to do. We can also spawn from either one of those. You don't have any of that here. The only thing the dojo doesn't have is a foundry. Unless I'm just being stupid and forgot to build one. But it has a dry dock for your railjack. You have relays which have, again, you can check your arsenal and your mods. But it also has no foundry, but at the same time, you've got Barracatir, Cephalon Samaris, all the other Syndicate factions, Clem, and a dry dock for your railjack. This needs fix. Oh, my battery's going to die soon, but hopefully I'll get through this video quick enough. This needs to be a focus where you can start the game from here. It has a navigation console and a foundry. Otherwise, it is the most irrelevant thing in Warframe. If they're not going to focus on this, can they at least send us through inbox 2 new rewards for the 2 ranks where they just gave us decorations for this room? I mean, a block of sushi and a statue. What the hell is the point? I really don't. But yeah, 1.1 also focus on making this room more worthy of being in the game, because at the moment it is not at all. And that pretty much covers everything I wanted to say before this 7th hotfix. But let me know what you think. And I am going to go change my controller, grab a drink. Take care everyone, and I shall see you all later.